afternoon, everyone. My name is Tom Ely. I'm the principal of Central Middle School and the MC for this afternoon's event. I would like to welcome all of you to the 2024 Distinguished Teachers Award Ceremony for the Greenwich Public Schools. Thank you for coming today, and congratulations to all of the folks on the stage. I would also like to thank the GHS String Ensemble for coming tonight and this afternoon and performing for us. And with that, I would ask that everyone stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you so much for that amazing rendition. I just want to take 1 minute to say, somewhat selfishly, that I am so glad that Central Middle School is hosting the Distinguished Teachers Award ceremony this afternoon, because it's really nice to talk about what's happening inside a building rather than the building itself, which is what I spend a lot of time talking about. And with that, I will pass it over to Marlene Gilbert, who is the DTAC co-chair.
Good afternoon. I'm Marlene Gilbert, the Vice Chair of the Greenwich Distinguished Teachers Awards Committee. Thank you, Mr. Ely and Central Middle School for hosting our award ceremony this year. And thank you to the Greenwich High School String Ensemble for entertaining us this afternoon. It's always a treat to hear students play. On behalf of the Distinguished Teachers Award Committee, I would like to welcome everyone here today, starting with our distinguished guests. Superintendent of Greenwich Public Schools, Dr. Tony Jones. Of the Greenwich Board of Education, Ms. Karen Kowalski. First Selectman of the Town of Greenwich, the Honorable Mr. Fred Camillo. And State Senator Ryan Fazio. Additionally, there are some people in the audience I would like to recognize and thank for their support of our Distinguished Teachers Awards program. Please stand if you are mentioned. Board of Education members, members of the Board of Estimate and Taxation, members of the Representative Town Meeting, and members of the Distinguished Teachers Awards Committee. Also receive invaluable help from our ex officio member of our committee, Director of Communications for the Greenwich Public Schools, Jonathan Sokranowicz, and Communication Assistant, Michael Antonoski. I also want to recognize Stacy Lovelace, who's the chair of the Distinguished Teachers Award Committee, and she couldn't be here this afternoon because she's at her daughter's college graduation. And let us thank all our sponsors, the PTA Council and the PTAs from every school in Greenwich, the Greenwich Organization of School Administrators, the Greenwich Education Association, members of the Distinguished Teacher Awards Committee. Thank you, sponsors, for allowing us to continue this tradition. Now let's take a moment to recognize all the previous honorees of the Greenwich Distinguished Teachers Award who are here today. If you were a past distinguished teacher, please stand. Before we begin the presentation of our distinguished teachers, I would like to give you some background information on this award. This is the 40th year of this committee and the awards, which are based upon criteria that describe characteristics of distinguished teachers. Our committee of 20 people is composed of representatives from the Board of Education, PTA Council, Greenwich Organization of School Administrators, Greenwich Education Association, and the community at large. We're a standalone nonprofit, not related to the Greenwich Public Schools. Our members independently review the nomination packets for every teacher nominated and complete a ballot which determines the 6 distinguished teachers. The details of our process can be found in your program. The 6 teachers you are going to meet today exceed the criteria used to identify a distinguished teacher. While they teach different age groups and different subject matters, we are here today to celebrate what they all have in common: excellence. These teachers share their love of learning with their students and encourage them to achieve at a high level in relation to their abilities. They generate enthusiasm in their students and inspire them to take responsibility for themselves and their learning. They foster growth and achievement in their students, in part because they themselves are growing and achieving. They are studying, researching, and attending professional development opportunities to continually look for the best ways to teach their students. They collaborate with their colleagues and share ideas and best practices. And they have made many contributions to their school and the district beyond what is required of them. To show our appreciation, each teacher today will receive certificates of recognition from the Greenwich Public Schools and the Town of Greenwich, a state citation, and a check from the Distinguished Teachers Award Committee. I'd like to introduce our first, is Fred Camillo here? Look at, if he comes, we'll hear from him.
At this time, I would like to welcome our state senator and former first baseman and lefty specialist pitcher for Greenwich Cardinals, Ryan Fontaine.
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you all here, not least of which because as our great Central Middle School principal identified, I am an alumnus of the Greenwich Public Schools, Western Middle School, so shout out to the school. And of course Greenwich High too, so shout out to Ms. Stack as well. Everyone knows that a great teacher can make an immense difference in the life of a child. And I can cite all the statistics in the world and the studies that actually do prove that out. But we all know that's true because we know it in our heart. Every single one of us, no matter what our age is in this audience, can remember the teachers that made a difference in their lives, that changed the trajectory of their life for the better. And we're here today properly to pay homage to the teachers in the Greenwich Public Schools currently who are doing that as well or better than anyone else. And we owe them a debt of gratitude and appreciation, not just today, but every day. And that goes for the teachers who aren't on this stage today as well, the previous winners, but all of the great teachers in our schools here in Greenwich. We're proud of you, we're proud of all of you, and we appreciate it. All the work that you're doing to improve the future, to ensure that we have future leaders for the next generation to make this town, this state, and this country a better place. So thank you to Ms. Falls, to Ms. Kolar, Ms. Lamb, to Ms. Maurer, to Ms. Reich, and to Ms. Stack for all your work for our kids in this town and all you're doing to improve the future for our town, our state, and our country. God bless.
I would now like to introduce our Board of Ed Chair, Karen Kowalski.
Thank you for having me here today. What a great event, and I'm honored to be here. So teachers change lives every day. Each time they walk through the classroom, a student's world is better. Teachers are unique. They clearly do what they do. They clearly don't do what they do for money or fame. This is not the Grammys or the Oscars, although it doesn't fall short of comparing with all of the pom-poms and the orchestra, which is truly a treat. And on their greatest day, they are not landing a $30 million deal for their most successful class. But a teacher's drive comes from the very people that they inspire and challenge daily. The smile or a hug from a student, when the student's face lights up with the excitement of understanding a difficult subject matter, or the energy they get from their classroom as they are all thoroughly engaged in a discussion. This is what drives a teacher, keeps them going to do more and to do it better every day. Teachers are unique and are quite special. The teachers we are celebrating here today, all 6 of them, although they have so many peers that are equally deserving of awards as well, are indeed quite special. And our children are not only better students, but they are better human beings for having been in their classrooms or just simply being around them. In today's world, being a teacher is not easy. It is a tough profession, and like all professions, constantly evolving, and someone has the next new theory on how best to educate our children and maximize their learning potential. Clearly, you have all mastered how to be an agile teacher in a complex world with students that come from many walks of life. It is with great honor that I get to share this moment with you, and thank you for being outstanding teachers and helping to shape the minds of our next generation of future leaders. Thank you for finding the energy, the excitement, and the passion to excel and make our students' worlds better every day.
At this time, I would like to welcome our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Tony Jones.
Good afternoon. First of all, I want to say what an honor it is to be here, celebrating all of you. And I have to say, this truly is one of my favorite events. This one and the Student Service Awards are just so heartwarming that I look forward to it every year. I hope that all of you realize that we have over 950 teachers in the district, and there are only 6 of you sitting here, and that's amazing. And I think that, you know, the work that you do is really unparalleled in that the difference that you make in the lives of children. And as I was coming here today, I was driving in my car and I was just thinking about all the teachers that I remember from my elementary, from my middle, from my high school years, and how impactful they were in my life. And I was thinking about how we have the next 5.5 weeks of school. And, you know, something that you're going to say, there's going to be a child that will remember that when they're old like me, believe it or not. And I just think that sometimes for teachers, you don't go into this profession to be a distinguished teacher. You don't go into this to win huge awards or have big bonuses. You do it because you love it. And I also want to say to all of your families, thank you for supporting these teachers in the profession that they chose. And I hope that more people will continue to do that, because we need more wonderful teachers, and it's going to get harder and harder in our profession if we can't continue to encourage young people to be exactly like all 6 of you. And I just want to end by saying to those of you who took the time to nominate a teacher, thank you so much, because when you're nominated, it means more, I think, than you'll ever know, because especially where I sit, sometimes we hear the grumpiness when somebody's unhappy because, it's their children. It's the most important thing in their family. And often our educators don't get to hear really how wonderful they are. So thank you, because it does take time to also be a nominator. So thank you for what you do. You are 6 of the best of more than 950 educators in Greenwich Public Schools. So thank you.
Our next speaker is the president of the Greenwich Education Association, Ms. Lillian Perot.
Hello, everyone. What a great day to honor our teachers. I want to thank you all for being here and for showing up. You have to show up for events in life. So thank you all for being here and being present. First, I'd like to thank all the teachers of Greenwich for their hard work and dedication for our students. Yeah, someone agrees with me. Thank you. For their hard work and dedication to our students, their families, and the community. Yes, teaching has become very demanding, but it is still so incredibly rewarding. Now to our distinguished teachers, Anna Marie, Johanna, Liam, Audrey, Eileen, and Alyssa. I am truly honored and humbled to share this moment with you today as we pause to celebrate the teaching profession and your outstanding work and commitment on behalf of our students and their families. To be named an outstanding teacher is to be recognized for your commitment to the profession. You exhibit an exceptional capacity, not only to improve your own teaching practices, but also that of your colleagues. For our students, you bring your smile and love to the classroom. You inspire hope, you ignite the imagination, you challenge your students to critically think, to problem solve, to be self-directed, to be engaged in learning, to make connections, to build good relationships, and take on challenges, and instill a love of learning, and so much more. And let's not forget one of our important mottos, to care for self and others. I leave you with this quote by Scott Hayden. Teachers have 3 loves: the love of learning, the love of learners, and the love of bringing the 2 together. Thank you for bringing the 2 together. You are all truly distinguished. Thank you.
Okay, and now for the main event. I would like to introduce Francine Williams, who nominated Anna Marie Falls for this.
Today, I am honored to celebrate my colleague, Anna Marie Falls, an educator who embodies the essence of distinction in teaching. She has not only imparted knowledge, but has cultivated a profound impact on the minds and hearts of those fortunate enough to be under her guidance at New Lebanon School. As one parent recently said to me, I am so grateful for the education and talents that Ms. Falls brings to her career. Her students will tell you she always fosters curiosity and ignites a passion for learning. She bridges the gap between students who need extra support, whether building confidence, understanding a new language, or working on their academic growth. Her commitment to excellence extends beyond the curriculum, creating an environment where students absorb information and develop critical thinking skills and a thirst for knowledge. At New Lebanon School, Anna Maria can easily establish strong connections with English and Spanish-speaking students. Her bilingual background and her parents' own personal journey to the U.S. allows her to connect with our families easily. She is a teacher who has welcomed many students who have come to New Leb after a long and at times difficult journey to the U.S. These families can be reluctant to participate in school activities. Anna Maria is a distinguished teacher who has been a guiding force instilling not only academic knowledge, but also bicultural values that extend far beyond the classroom. A parent whose son is currently in Anna Maria's class stated, "I thank you for all the support Juan Pablo has had because of you. You have seen the potential in my son, and I thank you for that. As immigrants, it is such a blessing to see our son loving school, feeling completely supported by his teacher, and feeling validated as a strong learner." With unwavering dedication, Anna Maria has demonstrated that education is not just a profession, it is truly indeed a calling, an opportunity to shape the future by nurturing the potential of each student who has made the journey to her classroom. Anna Maria, thank you for your tireless efforts, unwavering commitment, and the lasting legacy you leave on the hearts and minds of all those that have had the privilege from learning from you. May your influence continue to shape students in the years to come. Congratulations, Anna Maria, on this well-deserved recognition.
Good afternoon, everyone. I've never had two microphones beforehand, so if you know me, you know I'm quite loud, so I apologize in advance. Thank you so much, Fran, for your kind words, really, your guidance and your friendship throughout the years. Good afternoon, Dr. Jones, Dr. Carabello, members of the Board of Education, esteemed guests, administrators, and fellow recipients. Thank you so much for coming to celebrate this special event with us. I want to extend my gratitude to my family, my husband, my parents, and my brothers who have shaped me throughout my entire career, and their unwavering support throughout my entire career. I also want to express my appreciation to all of my colleagues, my friends, current and former students, and their families, and as well as Fran and Dawn Zimmerman for nominating me. I am so deeply honored to be a recipient of the 2024 Distinguished Teacher Award. My journey to this point has been shaped by the values instilled in me by my parents, Cuban refugees, who really emphasized the importance of education in our household. Growing up in Union City, New Jersey, education was paramount in our household. My parents taught my brothers and me that while money may come and go, education is a lifelong asset. I carry this belief into my classroom every day, always encouraging my students to pursue their passions while prioritizing their education. I often remind them that while dreams of becoming professional athletes are admirable, education and good character provide a solid foundation for their future. I owe a debt of gratitude to Debbie and Rich Pluto, who are in the audience today, dear friends of ours who urged me to explore opportunities in Greenwich many years ago. Their endorsement, along with my husband's encouragement, led me to embark on a fulfilling career in Greenwich Public Schools. Starting out as a 7th grade special ed teacher at Western Middle School, I eventually returned to my elementary school roots and have flourished ever since. Greenwich has provided me with unparalleled growth opportunities from IB to Orton Gillingham training and far beyond. My administrators, current and former, and colleagues continuously challenge me to expand my horizons, supporting and believing in me every step of the way. I am surrounded by mentors and lifelong friends who have contributed to my professional and personal growth. Receiving this award is truly a humbling experience, and I remain grateful to all of those who have played a role in my journey. Thank you for joining me in celebrating this honor.
Next, we will hear from 8th grader Gabriela Carvalho, who nominated Joanna Cole.
Good afternoon to all. I first wanted to say congratulations to all the winners of the Distinguished Teacher Awards. I'm so happy I get to talk about my amazing teacher, Miss Johanna Kohler. She's a math teacher and a director of the musicals at Western Middle School. Some adjectives that describe her include hardworking, dedicated, fair, and kind. She is a teacher who inspires enthusiasm, holds students accountable for their learning, and encourages a high level of achievement from everyone. Whether it is in the classroom or on stage, Ms. Kohler inspires enthusiasm in all her students and actors. She spends time making lessons for her students, paying attention to not only the challenges, but our needs and interests too. When she isn't planning lessons that inspire us, she's choreographing dances for the musical that make everyone feel included and bring our school play to life. Whether it is in the classroom or on stage, she makes us all feel welcome. Ms. Kohler lifts up her students. No matter what each individual is going through, and despite the varying strengths and weaknesses, she helps us all believe in our abilities. She pushes and challenges us to our max capacity because she knows we can do it if we put in the effort. Holding expectations in the classroom is important. It creates a powerful road to learning. Ms. Kohler makes sure her rules are well established and held in place to maintain a safe learning environment where students can push themselves to achieve success. Ms. Kohler not only effectively communicates her classroom expectations, but also our successes. From sending a quick email or note home, she makes sure to celebrate us. I've known Ms. Kohler for 3 years. My respect and appreciation only grows within each year I know her because she puts so much hard work in everything she does to make her students happy. That's what a great teacher does. That's who Ms. Kohler is.
Thank you so much, Gabby, and thank you everyone for being here. This is truly an awe-inspiring moment to be standing in front of all of you with my fellow distinguished teachers. I would like to thank the DTA committee for all their work through this process and honoring me with a selection. I would like to thank Alicia Berry, Mariana Bellino, and Suzanne Coyne for their unwavering support with my nomination. I would like to thank my amazing Western Middle School family, many of whom are here today. Getting hired at WMS 11 years ago meant finding the place where I was meant to be. I would like to thank my family, my parents who are both here this afternoon, both public school teachers for a combined total of over 70 years. My sister who has taught here at Central for 18 years. Most importantly, I would like to thank my husband, Andy, for always supporting me and never saying no when I ask if I can stay late at school for extra help or retakes or to add an extra choreography rehearsal to the schedule. And my girls, Brandon and Sophie, who make mommy proud every day. They are my reasoning, oh my gosh, for working as hard as I do. They are my motivation to be a better teacher, a better leader, and a better person in everything I do. Last week, I was thinking about what I was going to say today, and I was struggling. I didn't know how to start. Then this past Saturday, my family went with our dear friends to see Wicked in Hartford. And while watching the show, a line was said that resonated with me. I turned to my husband and I said, "That's it. That's what I do." The line from a professor to Elphaba was, "That's my special talent, encouraging talent." And that's what I do. I never claim to be the smartest in the room. I tell you all the time. In fact, I tell my students constantly that they are smarter than I am, as I see some of them in the orchestra as well. I never claim to be the best actor, singer, or dancer on stage when I am directing in musicals. But what I do know is talent. And as an educator, I believe that my job is to help students see their talent and their gifts. There is success in everyone. There is a star in all of us. I have been blessed to teach some amazing mathematical minds. I have worked with young leaders and creative thinkers, and I have watched shy and quiet young ladies and gentlemen blossom and shine on the stage in a way that they never imagined they could, including this amazing young woman next to me. That transformation is why I teach. Being part of these young people's transformation into who they want to become makes all the hours worth it. I am eternally grateful for those moments, and I hope that my students know how much they have helped me transform as well. Thank you again, and congratulations to my fellow DTA winners. West Side, Best Side.
Now we will hear from Rowena McRae, who nominated Leanne Lang.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mrs. Leanne Lam is a unique special education teacher from New Lebanon Elementary School. Mrs. Lam is my son's teacher since kinder, and he is now in 3rd grade. As a parent, a mother of a child with special needs, my greatest fear is sending him to school because he will be out of my sight and not in my care. I try not to. I prayed hard to God for my son to have a good and loving teacher that will act like a mother to him while he is in school. Mrs. Leanne Lam is my answered prayer. Alden made a significant progress in his learning abilities, like identifying numbers, counting, color, shapes, alphabets. He can identify pictures and say it out loud. He also learned how to be independent, like putting on, taking off his jacket, hat, shoes, and socks. He also learned how to try and eat variety of foods, like chocolate, Kit Kat, yogurt at school. All this learning may sound basic to us, but it's a huge milestone for a special kid like my Alden. Mrs. Lam, thank you for accepting Alden for who he is and allowing him to learn in his own way. You have had such an amazing impact on his education and have helped him to find love for learning. We are grateful for your dedication and mentorship, as well as your careful consideration of Alden's need. Thank you very much.
My heartfelt thanks to you, Rowena, for your nomination and your kind words. Standing up here is truly an honor and a humbling experience. I want to thank Lindsay, my assistant principal, for encouraging me to go through the nomination process. To my principal, Dan Russo, and my colleague, Natasha Morrow, for your thoughtful recommendations. To the award committee, thank you for your time and recognition. And to the esteemed leaders of our community, thank you for coming and showing your support to the educators. But last but not least, I'm extremely thankful for the love and support of my family and the rest of the New Leb Bobcat. When Lindsay and one of my students came to me with a creatively made card using pictures and words from a communication device asking if I would accept the nomination, I was so honored, but at the same time, did not feel distinguished enough amongst all the hardworking and exceptional staff in our school and in the district. But then I realized that this was not about me. It is about the tireless and collaborative effort of all the staff that I've worked with over the last 15 plus years. It is about my students, past and present, all the struggles we have worked through, and the successes that we celebrated. It is about the students' families, their work with their children at home, and their trust and collaboration with the schools. Furthermore, it is about the support of my own family, my parents, who will always encourage me to do my best and help care for my 3 children while I'm pursuing a second master's degree. My husband, Gavin, who has served as my tech support and more, and my 3 kids who unfortunately get the last bit of my patience and time when I return from work and when I try to complete my studies. So I am standing here today accepting this award, not for myself, but for the village of people who have transformed me professionally and personally. I'm grateful for your guidance, patience, kindness, and trust. I will continue to strive to do my best with God-given wisdom, strength, and passion. To conclude, I'd like to share a quote from the renowned Japanese poet Yunosuke Satoru. Individually, we are one drop, but together we're an ocean. Thank you.
To reintroduce the GHS String Ensemble for an interlude performance.
Thank you.
that was beautiful. I now would like to introduce former New Lebanon student Fernanda Moreno Soto, who nominated Audrey Moore.
Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations to all the distinguished teachers who are so deserving of this award. It's a great day to be a New Lebanon alum. Go Bobcats. I would like to first recognize someone who's right there in the front row, Carol Pugliano, who is one of the nominators for Audrey. Her and I spent hours on the phone talking about all of the amazing things that we love about you. It's crazy that we were able to sum it up in a few words, and there were so many more things that we could share. But last year she received a Distinguished Teacher Award, and I'm so happy that she was able to pass on her torch to someone as amazing as Audrey Moore. I could fill an encyclopedia with the moments that I cherish with Audrey Moore. I think it was about this time 16 years ago. I was getting ready as narrator number 3 for a production of The Wiz at New Lebanon School as a 5th grader. Since then, she has seen me in different facets of my life. I would go back and visit her when I was at Western Middle School and let her know what it was like going from Bobcat to Wildcat. and I'd tell her all about my DC trips and everything that was going on. During that time at New Lebanon, my little sister and my mother were teaching at New Lebanon. My little sister was a student, my mom was teaching. So as a daughter of an educator, I know how prestigious this award is and how much recognition teachers deserve every single day. I will now speak about Miss Audrey Moore without crying. Her impact on my life, of course, began when I entered her classroom. I was a shy 9-year-old, unsure of what I wanted to do, what I wanted to achieve. But she would always tell us, whatever you want to do, make sure it makes you happy and that it makes yourself proud. This is something I have strived to do since the day that I met her. Our journey then took us on me being her GHS senior intern. I got to watch her and observe and explain to my parents and understand why I wanted to one day be an educator and change the lives of children, whether it was as a teacher, as a mentor, as a role model, because someone as amazing as Audrey Moore inspired me to do something like that. Watching her during my internship really shifted the whole trajectory of my life. That internship led us to me taking a gap year after high school, and I spent 6 months in my home country, Chile. And because I loved Audrey so much, I couldn't let her go, and she had to be part of my experience. We embarked on a cultural exchange where I taught my students in Chile a song, When the Saints Go Marching In, and Audrey in her classroom taught her students a song, La Jardinera, which is a Chilean folklore song. We would Skype, my students in an impoverished community would perform for students in the US for the first time, and vice versa. She embodies what it is to be a teacher, to cultivate new strategies, to honor all intellectual abilities. With music, you're able to communicate with everyone, and she's a master at nonverbal communication. Through Audrey, I learned that communication does not begin or end with verbal language. She has taught me that the most powerful way to communicate with fellow human beings is through nonverbal communication. Compassionate eye contact, a warming presence, an open mind, a non-judgmental ear, a warm embrace, and music can be used to form powerful connections and guide meaningful interactions without saying a word. I'll leave you with that. I now get to introduce you to my favorite person, Audrey Moore.
Thank you, Fernanda. Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for being here. Distinguished guest, Dr. Jones. I think one thing that everyone can agree on is that it has taken the efforts and support of many to bring the 6 of us to where we are today. I would like to begin by thanking the Distinguished Teacher Awards Committee for this recognition and honor. As As I acknowledge my colleagues in the Greenwich Public School Music Department, I would first like to thank Mrs. Bethany Foscaldo and her talented students from Greenwich High School for their beautiful music today, as well as all my other music department colleagues, led by our coordinator, Ms. Laura Newell. Thank you for all your expertise, your generosity, and your friendship. To my past New Lebanon administrators and my present ones, Dr. Daniel Russo and Mrs. Lindsay Eisenstein, your efforts to bring my teaching and expectations of myself to an even higher level continue to challenge me each and every day. To my nominator and fellow distinguished teacher, Carol Pugliano Martin, you have always believed in me, and whether we are losing sleep over an upcoming performance or agonizing over casting, your unmistakable laugh makes my day. Thank you for everything. Thank you to my seconder, my former student, Fernanda Moreno Soto. While I can still see you as that sweet 9-year-old in my classroom, your journey to become the beautiful, caring, and accomplished individual you are continues as you work tirelessly to improve the lives of those less fortunate. I would like to take a moment for special recognition of my New Lebanon family, including my work spouse, Nina Dreyer. For 17 years, I have been proud to be a part of a community that excels at teamwork, creativity, and collaboration. Our reputation as the school everyone wants to be a part of, has been hard-won. We have had our share of triumphs and tragedies, of victories and setbacks. Yet each staff member continues to rise to meet each challenge with energy, commitment, and genuine caring. All our students feel it. All our families feel it, for they are the very reason New Lebanon works tirelessly to educate and support this very special community. Thank you, New Lebanon. Lastly, but most importantly, I would like to thank my entire family, particularly my husband, Ira, who many of you know. You have been my greatest cheerleader. And Ira, I think you have my answer to that question you posed 19 years ago. Do you think you could see yourself as a music teacher? The answer is yes. Thank you.
Next, we will hear from North Street School PTA Co-President Tom Cassazone, who nominated Eileen Wright.
Hello. I first want to quickly congratulate all the deserving teachers sitting here and all the nominees this year. It is with great pleasure that I have the privilege to stand up here on behalf of the nominating team for North Street's very own Eileen Reach. On behalf of my co-nominator Emily Hulse, North Street's principal Jill Flood, and Eileen's peer nominator Vicky Capielli, who are all here, we cannot think of a teacher more deserving than Eileen to be recognized with this award. When we first met to discuss our nomination package, we all agreed that the one constant when talking about Eileen is that she has an impact on every student, every teacher, and every parent that she interacts with. That impact is so great that a ripple effect is created that not only touches the student, the colleague, or the parent, but it carries on throughout North Street School, the Greenwich District, and the greater community. And to top it all off, she's been doing this for each and every one of her 28 years of teaching, 27 of which were at North Street School. In kindergarten, yes. So speaking of kindergarten, it all starts on that first day of kindergarten orientation when my 4 children who are sitting here, Emily's son Stephen, and all of the other kids that are sitting here are welcomed and have the honor of meeting Mrs. Reach at orientation and being welcomed into her KR family. She has an unmatched ability to connect with and establish a rapport with each child through her welcome smile, her motherly voice, and her familiarity with each student's family. She instantly connects with everyone, makes them feel comfortable and safe in what otherwise might be a new and scary environment. 6 years later, those same students gathered to take a class photo at their 5th grade North Street graduation with their KR family. And 7 years after that, Mrs. Reach is first in line to congratulate them at their GHS graduation. It is a subtle reminder to all of our kids to never forget where you come from, because those first bonds and those early learnings are what shape each and every one of them. And with a little luck, they too will carry that impact on to future generations and instill a little bit of KR wherever they go. Without further ado,
All right, they're 5 years old. They're 5 years old. Oh, hi. Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for having me here. Thank you to all of you. Thank you mostly to Tom Casazone, Emily Holst, Jill Flood, and Vicki Capiali. Hi, guys. For supporting me throughout the years and especially on this journey. I cannot say enough about you guys. It is glad you guys are here. It is a great honor to be up here with these amazing women. Thank you for being here with me. I am really honored and humbled beyond measure. In my essay, I offered advice to an aspiring teacher. I wrote about passion, respect, and possessing a big heart. I'd like to delve a little deeper into that notion of having a big heart. When you open your heart, you cultivate an atmosphere of acceptance and unity, a space where children not only want to be, but they thrive in their learning journey. By opening your heart, you allow children to blossom as individuals, fostering genuine connections with your students. I brought some backup with me to help me illustrate this. My props, my visuals. I have Michael, Jackie, Avery, Catherine Casazone, and Stephen Hulse, all former students of mine. With some students, like Michael, I found a connection through our shared love for the Yankees. This bond allowed him to see me as more than just a teacher. When our school had an outing at a Yankee game, I was lucky to have a seat right next to Michael. We talked baseball literally the whole game, and I think my children were very happy Michael was there. Got them off the hook. Then there are students like Jackie, where the connection simply just flows effortlessly. Our rapport was instantaneous, and our understanding of each other was almost telepathic. She knew me, I knew her, it was seamless. Even after she left my class, our bond remained strong through pen pal letters. Avery, there you are. Avery and I formed a virtual connection. There had to be one in the group. Navigating the challenges of the pandemic together. Our weekly Google Meets became a lifeline where we not only honed academic skills, but also shared stories and laughter. Apparently, I was a hip fashionista since Avery cut her hair short to match mine. I think I need to go shorter, Avery. By the time Catherine came along,
We were old friends, but we connected through our shared love of nature. The joy she found in nurturing a plant for my classroom speaks volumes about the power of these connections beyond the academic realm. This is actually a baby from her big plant that she grew from my classroom. So she's quite proud of it, so am I. Lastly, some connections are forged through stories we share. I have a few pets, 5 cats, 2 dogs. Yep, that's true. I often tell funny stories about them, and they appear in much of my writing in the classroom. Some of the children, like Stephen, also have pets, sealing that connection. He's got a picture of his dog there. Stephen was always eager to hear the latest Brody saga, finding joy and laughter in these stories. These connections lay the foundation for a classroom where every child feels valued, accepted, and supported. They create a sanctuary where children feel empowered to take risks without fear of judgment. As I remind my students on a daily basis, if you make a mistake, will your eyes fall out?
No!
Will your hands fall off?
No!
Then it's all good. Thank you.
And finally, Daniel Silkman nominated Alyssa Stack.
Alyssa Stack is the person that every kid and educator hopes to have in their corner. And so many of us have been lucky to call her our teacher, our mentor, and our friend. Alyssa is compassionate, she's whip smart, and she goes all out for her team. As the instructional coach for the GHS Social Studies Department, she provides constant support to our teachers. When one of our colleagues took a medical leave of absence last year, Alyssa immediately stepped in to build lesson plans and reassure students who were processing the challenging news. Additionally, Alyssa has nurtured wonderful relationships with the newest generation of teachers, who count on her to problem solve and boost their spirits with patience and grace. New teachers often pop into Alyssa's office and exclaim, "Coach, do you have a second?" And Alyssa puts everything on pause to lend a hand. With her deep experience and unending generosity, Alyssa shares her resources and feedback with new teachers so they can hone their skills and achieve their goals. In her own rigorous history courses, Alyssa instills in her students a strong work ethic, critical thinking skills, and a love of learning that best prepares them for the challenges and triumphs of college and beyond. Alyssa is a content expert, for sure, but most importantly, she knows her students and facilitates powerful learning experiences according to their unique interests and abilities. Every day, Alyssa impresses her colleagues and her students with her academic curiosity and genuine sense of wonder. She always looks forward to tackling complex topics with her ninth graders and facilitating discussions on major historical controversies with her upperclassmen. She seeks out new opportunities to stretch her own thinking, while supporting students in doing the same. Alyssa leads by example. She is a model student as much as she is a master educator. Alyssa, thank you for believing in me when I was a 17-year-old kid in your AP Euro class, and for continuing to support me and so many others in our school community. You are and always have been a distinguished teacher, and it's a joy to celebrate you today. Congratulations.
Thank you to Dan Silkman, my former AP Euro student, former student teacher, and current colleague for nominating me. Thank you to current AP Euro student Laura Olmsted for seconding his nomination, and also to Lucy Areco, my former student teacher, former colleague, and current boss. It feels very special to have been nominated and seconded by this trio, because teaching, in all its forms, is a core part of my identity. That's not that surprising, though, because I've been surrounded by great teachers all my life. At my wedding, all the teachers there, almost 50 of us, posed for a large group photo. I'm seated next to my husband, Rob, of course, a fellow social studies teacher, and we are surrounded by our colleagues from Greenwich and Wilton. I'm also sitting next to Mrs. Barnett, my 11th grade English teacher, and just in front of my first and second grade teachers, Miss O'Brien and Mrs. Hammer. Incidentally, it was when I had Mrs. Hammer again in the 4th grade that I decided to become a teacher. Had we gotten married a few years later, my sister Catherine would have been in the photo too, because she is also a social studies teacher. By far, though, the two most important teachers in that photo and in my life are my parents, Carol and Paul Goulian. As a second grade teacher for many years, my mom taught me practical lessons like the secretaries really run the school. But she also modeled patience and grace to help me handle all the challenges that would come my way in my own classroom. My dad taught classes as an adjunct professor occasionally when I was a child, and then regularly later in his retirement. But his most profound moments of teaching came in his nuggets of wisdom that I have come to call his mantras. It takes all kinds to make the world go round. If a job is worth doing, it's worth doing right. This too shall pass. I'm sorry I never directly told him the profound effect these lessons have had on my own life and career. You see, I recently realized that I, too, teach in mantras. To my students, whenever we read for a purpose. To my own children, Charlotte and Garrett, life is a collection of memories. Better make them good ones. And to myself, live joyfully and make a difference. Because for me, teaching isn't just a job, it's my way of life. And that's why, even with all the lessons and students I have in my past, I know I still have many, many more in my future. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming this evening and celebrating these amazing professionals. One more hand for this year's 2024. That concludes our ceremony this afternoon. I believe there are some refreshments out front in the hallway area, or our vestibule, if you would. And for the distinguished teachers, please remain on the stage for a few more photo opportunities. Thank you all again for coming tonight.